What is up? Welcome to the podcast. This is Big Reptile Talk, and I am excited. We have Miss Desiree from Cold Blooded Cafe and RepTech
Hello.
here. How
Hi,
you doing
everyone.
today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I wanted to get you on. We're gonna get a little knowledge and have a little fun. I hope that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, I want to dive right into it, man. So I've been hearing that you have an amazing collection of animals. So can you tell me, like, what does your personal collection of reptiles look like?
Well, it's very extensive. We have many different python species, a few different colubrid species, many monitor species, crocodilians. So really just kind of everywhere, a little bit of everything.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're real busy. You have those two companies, and we're gonna talk about them in a minute. But I want to know, like, how long have you been breeding?
Oh, well, I started doing all of this. I guess I was 18. Well, honestly, my first snake was when I was 16. It was like a 13-foot Burmese python. It was my late husband's animal forest fanning. And he had that snake, and that was kind of our first pet, I guess. And then we ended up with a red-tailed boa, and then we ended up with a ball python. And then we kind of got out of that for a few years and just worked and went snowboarding a lot and kind of traveled around a bit. And then I guess our big collection started probably around 2006. We acquired 30 adult ball python females from Jeremy Stone, and that's kind of where we started at. And we also just bought a whole group of baby ball pythons. I think we started with like 100 of those, and that was the beginning was with ball pythons. Did a few clutches of those throughout the years, and then we honestly started breeding rodents as like a full-time thing. Probably 2010 or so, because we were like, we don't want to buy feeders. We want to supply our own. And he came from like a farming family, so he was really confident in it and started breeding rodents full time, which that obviously turned into a huge retail company. But for the most part, we started with ball pythons, and then we kind of went into green tree pythons. Only had 2 or 3 clutches of those throughout the years. And then most recently, we've been doing scrub pythons. We have some of those incubating now. We produced those last year. We have produced the Prasinus, which is the green tree monitor. We produced those last year and again this year, so those eggs are incubating. We produced some indigos this year and some more ball pythons. Forrest was more of like a collector. He didn't necessarily breed a lot. He did get some Abronia litters and, of course, just the ball pythons and green trees. But we're kind of starting to focus more on like the breeder side of things now that we have a little bit more space. Obviously, we have the feeders, so can take care of everything very well over here.
Right, right, right. Um, Much love to Forrest, man. Amazing person.
So,
Um, I got to throw a hot seat question in there. With you being a breeder, you big in the game. We love everybody, but I
thanks.
got to ask you, who is your current favorite breeder?
Wow. Current favorite breeder. Uh, I don't know, man. That's hard. That's a hard question. A lot of these guys are my personal friends, so if I pick one, I don't want to upset anybody. But
That
I mean, are we talking like ball python breeders? Are we talking about
just
monitor
any
breeders? Or just kind of an all
more
around?
more so on the snake side.
Snakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like what Jessica Belka does. Miguel, even Cusco, all the major players. I don't, I don't know. I don't follow it a whole lot. I'm like just beyond busy, and I have a 2-year-old, so
Right.
I don't keep up on all of our happenings. I see some stuff on Facebook, or like when people hatch like crocodile monitor eggs. I'm a big monitor person, so I see more of that than I do the snake stuff. But
Oh, right.
I love Gary Shavino. He is probably one of my favorite people, and he currently has some Savus that I want real bad, the silver Savus.
So you more so follow like toothless reptiles and sim container with the people that
Oh
are
yeah.
real heavy in the monitor game.
Yeah, I got my black dragons from Toothless.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Corey is good people's.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I gotta ask, because you run two successful companies, man. Like, so how is it just running RepTech? How much do you just enjoy running that?
So that's like our hobby, and we're not really trying to what's the word? Like, we're not trying to survive off of the sales of our reptiles. We've been kind of just grooming this company for a long time. Of course, RepTech's been around for forever, since we got into this game, and we've kind of uh, we've kind of like cut some loose ends and some projects that were kind of not really going anywhere, and then tried to focus on other things to kind of reel it in and take care of things that meant a lot more to us. So Stephen Cush came on, and he combined his reptile collection with ours. So he brought in a lot more snakes, and I had the crocodiles and the monitors, and a few snakes here and there, and the Abronia. So as a combined effort, him and I are the main reptile keepers, and it's obviously very rewarding. Everyone knows that.
Right.
I love working with our animals, and we sell when we need to buy more reptiles. So we'll go through the list and be like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. This isn't doing anything. So we'll move some extra stuff or stuff we're not doing much with, and then turn around and buy more reptiles. So it's kind of just like this hobby thing going on, but eventually, obviously, we want to be more involved in selling. But yeah, the main focus is obviously the rodents and the sales on those. So a lot of my time is spent, like half the day is spent doing reptile work in the mornings, and then in the afternoons I'm helping with shipping and making sure the rodent side of things is getting taken care of. So it's a lot of juggling.
Right. Now, so what you're saying is, you love RepTech, but your heart is more so, on the cold blooded cafe side.
Well, yeah, business wise, it's a full blown running business. It is very, very, it's doing very well. The only issue right now is kind of just like the labor market, trying to keep people employed, which is a problem with every business right now, I think, in the world. But yeah, so Cold Blooded Cafe is my baby, and I'm doing everything I can to keep it going and running and doing well. And I'm actually allergic to rodents, so I don't work with them hands-on in the live production. I'm okay like bagging them once they've been euthanized, and I can handle frozen packages with shipping. So I don't do a whole lot with the live. So Steven is my groundskeeper, the all around. He does everything. He manages the breeding. He manages the breeding of the reptiles. Manages the employees. So I'm kind of just up here trying to manage everything as a whole. But Steven's pretty much my go-to person for getting stuff done around here.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. We're going to talk about cold blooded in a cafe in a little bit. I want to talk more about the breeding side a little bit. Give us some advice because we have breeders in the chat right now. What do you think a good, for being a new breeder? What do you think a good first year clutch goal is?
I mean, what species are you talking?
More so like because you're into the ball pythons. You're into the squirrel pythons. Just like ball pythons. Give us what do you think a good year clutch would be?
To like how many clutches to get?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just depends on how many breeders you have going, but I guess we have about 20 adults right now, and we're up to like 5 clutches this year. But the cool thing about ball pythons is they'll breed year round for you. So you pair them up, you cycle them right, you feed them right, and they'll give you eggs whenever. So I would say a good year would be like 3 to 5 if you're I don't know, if you're a new person, getting one is going to be, a goal. That's great. You did it. You succeeded. You're taking care of them how they're supposed to be, because when they breed in captivity, that means you are doing exactly what they need to reproduce. I guess just depends on the level you're at,
Right. Well, you breed so many species. Is there any tips you can give to kind of like reduce slugs?
Just staying consistent with your feeding and your cycling, and we use an ultrasound here too. Not everyone has that option, but palpating too. First time females, sometimes they just slug out because it's their first time, so you just kind of gotta go with that. And like this year, we had a emerald tree boa. Last year, she absorbed her litter. This year, she gave us slugs. So we're hoping next year she will actually give us some babies.
Right.
So, it just takes trying each year. That female was also moved from a building into a different one during a winter storm outage. So, that could have been a reason that she got moved and got thrown off a little bit. So she'll be in the same environment all year, and hopefully next year, we'll use a different male, because it could have just been the male that was not, giving that fertile stimulation.
Right. Now, I love your answers. Like I said, you're doing some real amazing stuff. But now I got to throw you in the hot seat real quick.
Sure.
This determines how I feel about you. Real quick, Samsung or Apple?
Apple.
I love it. See, that's why we're here. Because I was just telling my wife I'm ready to do the pre-order for the iPhone 13. So we're here. We connected. Now, with you breeding so many species, is there any tips that you can give when you have like stubborn males that just don't want to breed?
Honestly, try another male. Really. We try to keep, extras in the groups. So depends on what animal you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Now with you doing so much amazing stuff, I want to know just how is it being, a woman in the hobby for you? Have you just been embraced? I see that you've been embraced by like Brian Barchak, lots of greats in the hobby. Just talk to me about being a woman in the hobby. How has it been for you?
It's been great. Of course, this was Forrest's main hobby and main focus, and I was his backbone and strong wife over here, doing everything I could to support him. So he was the one that made all of these major connections with people like Brian and Bob Ashley and Brian Potter, the NARBC crew, USARC, so really after he passed, I made that big decision to just keep going and do this like even more full time. I'm honestly very respected by everybody. I don't want to just, talk dirty or try to get pictures out of me. Like, I'm not that type of girl that's even gonna like put that out there that that's what I'm looking for. So it's been great. And you know, USARC had that auction for us, our fundraiser, and they raised like over $45,000, and that just blew my mind. I was so thankful, so grateful that I have this many friends and this many people that care about me, that this has become my family, my livelihood. So I feel really good and strong, and I've just been through some extremely tragic stuff throughout the last couple of years, and you know it's getting easier. I'll never forget, but I do feel like a leader in this industry, and I just try to stay really humble.
I love that. I love that. You definitely are a leader. That's why I wanted to get you on and just talk to you. I love what Cold Blooded Cafe is doing. So talk to me about Cold Blooded Cafe. Like I seen online, like how does it work? I seen that y'all have a $30 flat rate ship fee to anywhere. Like that's dope. So anywhere it's $30 to ship, right?
Yeah, except Alaska and Hawaii. That's $100 a box. Obviously, it's a lot further to go. Yeah, our $30 flat rate shipping is per box. So our website does a decent job of calculating how much you have in your box, and then you know, as you fill the first one, the second one will show up, and you can fill that as needed. But yeah, it's a work in progress. The algorithm, we had to go through a lot of web developers to get this right. You know, it's pretty tricky to get that to work right. Technology is great, but also it can be super frustrating. So sometimes it will over calculate, and we can actually fit everything in one box, and then we just automatically refund the customer that $30 charge, you know, that second $30 charge. And if it goes under, we typically eat the cost if it's one box, but if it's 2 or 3 or 4, we do try to contact the customer and explain that our website didn't calculate this right, and you know, they do need to pay a little bit more on shipping, and most people are really understanding and great about it. So I'm still trying to you know, make it all work perfectly. And then, you know, there's the cost of cardboard that's gone up. So now I'm looking into changing my box size a little bit to save some money there. And yeah, it's there's a lot that goes into it.
Right. Have you just had somebody just made it just a crazy order? Give me 4,000 rats tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get. I think our we had like a $4,000 couple of those throughout the years, and those are typically like 12 boxes or more. We usually end up just putting it on a pallet and shipping it freight. And then we also do wholesale shipping. We're not taking any new customers at the moment, but we have a group of people that we ship just huge pallets to, resellers, stuff like that.
Nice. Now, with you, you know, you just running this car. I love it. So I gotta put you in the hot seat. I'm a fan of Cold Blooded Cafe. So how can I apply to be a co-CEO?
A co-CEO?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not doing that right now. Yeah.
She said, ain't no CNA. No, this is my baby. No co-CEO.
Yeah, until Lars is old enough.
Now, man, I want to talk to you about your IG. So how does it feel just having almost 15,000 people want to see what you're doing?
It's cool, honestly. My TikTok account has like 45,000. I just don't do enough with my social. I just get really busy and forget about things. And like, I take pictures and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great post. And then I forget to do it. And I had my sister work for us for a while, and she took over the social medias, and we were doing a little bit better with somebody like, you know, focusing on it. So someday I'd like to hire someone to just follow us around with cameras and run the social media. And we get asked all the time to start a YouTube channel. But I mean, I do love Instagram. That's my main place where I like to do stories there. But I'm really particular with my posts. But yeah, it is pretty surreal having 15,000 people watching you and talking to you. And it's been great, though. Everybody's really nice to me and supportive.
Right. Everybody in the chat, do y'all hear how humble she is? You couldn't tell me nothing. If 15,000, 45,000 on TikTok, oh, that's not a lot. And we don't really do so. What? Fine. I'm on 50,000 followers on TikTok. I'm famous. I'm not taking my trash out no more.
Yeah.
I'd cut up. Now, you were talking about US Sark earlier. So I gotta put you in the hot seat again. So I know you know about the fight. So we love them both, Feely or Antoine.
Who? Oh, I don't know either of them. So
you didn't hear about the fight?
No.
So in Arlington, I think it's this weekend. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. They're having a charity fight for US Sark, and it's High Desert Pythons or Antoine and Feely's Clutch or John Feely. They're having a fight, and it's literally gonna be a grappling match, and they're gonna put it on High Desert. Yeah, they're gonna put it on High Desert Pythons YouTube, and super chats. Any money that they raise, they're gonna send it to US Sark, and they also have boxing shorts, and
oh my gosh,
people pay for spots on those, like
That's
REPTILE,
crazy. Yeah,
and all those spots on the shorts that they sold off, they're gonna send that money to USARK. So I was trying to see, who do you think is gonna win, Feely or Antoine? And everybody I've been asking said Antoine, so you just say Feely.
Who's High Desert Herbs? Who is that one? That's
High Desert Pythons. That's Antoine.
Yeah, him. I'm gonna go with him.
You gonna go with him too?
Yeah, he's a huge supporter. He watches our Unfiltered, and he does trap talk. He's always in the trap talk with MJ. So I'm gonna support him.
Right. Yeah, hey, Feely, I tried to get you a little love, but she said you're going with Antoine. We love you both. We love what y'all are doing, but Antoine probably gonna take it, man. So we gonna see.
That's an interesting way to raise money. I've never seen that yet, so that's cool.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, so I should have been at Arlington, but we're so short-staffed that if we left, we would worry the whole time on what's happening over here. So we just couldn't make it.
Right.
We'll be visiting in October.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty dope, because like I said, on each of their shorts, they have literally, the fighter shorts, and companies, different brands like REPTILE, just different brands bought spots on that. They're gonna send that to you. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I like it. That's great.
I said, they creative. I gotta figure out a way to raise money for USARK. But I just had the president of USARK on last night.
Okay, cool. Phil Goss.
Yeah, Big Phil. I said,
yeah.
Phil, I got to be creative and raise you some money. I said, I figure if I put a dress on or something, if somebody send me $500, I wear a dress for like an hour.
Yeah.
Now, with you having so many species, I gotta ask this, man. So, what do you think the worst bite you ever took is?
A giant olive python. It's actually a viral video on my TikTok. We captured it through our security cameras in the reptile room, but I was actually training new employees how to clean baby corn snakes. And so they were working on these baby corn snakes, and I was cleaning some of the bigger snakes. And I open the tub and I see that she wants to come out. So I was like, okay, she's getting a little food aggressive over here. So I turned my back to go get the hook, and I had already taken her water bowl out, and she comes out of the cage like a foot and latches onto the back of my shoulder and just starts wrapping me like it was a food response bite. And she readjusted her bite 3 times. And it took 2 people to get the snake off me. And these poor girls, these high school girls, were just terrified and horrified. And they're like, we don't know what to do. What should we do? Should we call the cops? And I'm like, no, just come over here and unravel it. And I finally got to the head, and I could unhinge her jaw off my shoulder. So that was a pretty intense bite, a food response bite. All other bites I've had have just been curiosity and they let go. I've been bit by some monitors. The other worst one was I got bit by our white caiman crocodile on the tip of my finger. I was taping the mouth, and it turned to the side and latched onto my finger and let go. Thank God. So I have some scarring still and some lack of sensation on this finger. So those are my two worst bites ever.
That's crazy. I couldn't imagine it.
But yeah, that olive python bite on my TikTok is what made my account go viral. That was my first viral video. It's over 1 million views.
Now, do you think that the olive python is worse than the green tree python bite?
Yeah, I would say so, because it's a much bigger head. I mean, as an adult, this was an adult olive. Like, she's actually right next to me in the cage over here. Big girl. Her nickname now is TikTok. That's what we call her.
Because she done got y'all them followers, huh?
Yeah.
Right now.
I usually don't like to post sensational bites like that. And obviously we didn't film that on purpose. It was captured on our security cameras. And Forrest and his friend were both like Andy Gabbs. He's pretty big on there too. He has like 500,000 followers. And they were both like, post it, do it. And I was like, I don't know, man. And they're like, just do it. It's going to go viral. And it sure enough did. We actually did that at Arlington 2 years ago. Forrest's last Arlington. That's when we did it. So that's pretty memorable.
That's awesome. So, what is your current just top snake, your favorite snake right now that you have?
Shoot. I really like black and white snakes. So we have this pied musarana that I really like, and I've never worked with them before. And I definitely love sabu pythons. So those are probably my favorites.
Right now, with you having two companies, I know you're extremely busy. But I am going to ask this. A lot of us want to go herping, and so this is like a two-part question. If you had all the free time in the world, business was just, you had 17,000 managers doing what they doing. If you could go anywhere in the world and herp, where would it be? And if you could herp with anybody, your choice, who would it be today?
I would probably want to go with Bob Ashley. He's an avid herper. That's like what he spends most of his time doing, amongst running NARBCs and the Chiricahua Desert Museum out in New Mexico. And I think I would want to go. Gosh, that's a hard one. I mean, Papua New Guinea has a lot of stuff out there. Probably out there, or even Costa Rica. There's some pretty good stuff down there. Maybe with Quetzal, since he's a native down there.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never been herping.
I've been herping. Yeah, I used to go a lot more than I do now.
I said I haven't been.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, you got to get out there. That's the fun in it. Flipping rocks and logs and yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. So none of my friends really, are really, as most of my friends are on YouTube and they're in different states that like reptiles. But as far as where I live, none of the people where I live are into herping. And I want to go, but I was like, no, I'm gonna tell you why I don't go. I got bad luck. It's a lot of shit I don't do because I got bad luck. And I feel like if I go herping by myself somewhere, I'm gonna be out herping and a cougar gonna be breathing down my neck.
Oh no.
I said, nah, I'm serious. It's a lot of shit I want to do that I just don't. Like, I want to go camping, but I feel like I'm gonna wake up to a grizzly bear licking my forehead or something.
I mean, where'd you grow up?
So I live in Kansas City, Kansas.
Kansas City, Kansas?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe it depends on where you're from. Because I grew up in South Dakota, and so I lived in the woods, and I we went camping almost every weekend of the summer, and I definitely was out herping. And then I lived in Florida. I've lived in Tahoe. I've lived in Vegas, and all those places are great for herping. But I don't know. I guess you got to just get over that fear and do it. It's fun.
I know I need to. But and here's another thing I tell my wife is I said, baby, I really want to go herping. But I said, if I go, I'm probably gonna have to go looking like a hockey goalie or something, because I'm not trying to get bit by nothing. I need shin guards, chest guards, arm guards. I said,
you just need a snake hook.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's all you need, a long enough snake hook, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
That's true. I need to go, man. Now, I got to tell you this. I feel like you're doing amazing stuff with RepTech, Cold-Blooded Cafe. You're doing, some real dope stuff with the hobby. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat. I feel like, if you wasn't here, Lord forbid, if they were going to make a movie about Desiree and Cold-Blooded Cafe, who's playing Desiree and why?
Who's going to play me?
Yeah, anybody.
Oh, shoot. Maybe my sister, because she knows me very well and we look alike, and she loves what I'm doing and is very supportive.
I know that's right. You're such a sweetheart, my sister. You could have said anybody in the world.
Yeah.
My sister.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
She's amazing. She really helped out. She was commuting, traveling for 2 weeks at a time, coming out here, flying out here, and doing shipping. And I would pull the snakes out, and then she would spot clean the tubs for me and change the waters. So she was a great help. I miss having her out here, but she got engaged and decided she needed to spend more time at home.
Right. What's her name?
Mindy.
Okay, well, much love to Mindy. So Mindy, if you ever get the chance, when I make it big and I decide to make the Cold-Blooded Cafe movie, Mindy, you playing Desiree. Shit,
right on.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Mindy, Desiree loves you. All right, I love that. Now, do you have your eye on any new snakes, any future acquisitions? Are you pretty much good where you are right now?
Yeah, we're pretty good. Definitely want to get these Sabu pythons from Gary Chavino, so he's gonna hook me up with those. And then, of course, any scrubs that would make sense to the project, we'll acquire those as they come in. Other snakes, I don't know. I think we're pretty solid right now.
Right.
A lot.
Okay. I love that. Now, I got to put you in the hot seat. I know you got 2 jobs of your own. You're doing things. You're amazing. Now, if you wasn't doing the RepTech thing and the Cold-Blooded Cafe thing, and it was only like 3 jobs in the world, you had to pick one, I want to know where you're going. And then you got the Reptarium, you got Jay Brewer, or Nerd. Where are you going?
Reptarium.
Solid choice. I love what they're doing over there.
Yeah, my croc monitor's there, Baby Kush. So.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's been living up there. He was a little firecracker, and Brian claimed he could tame him down, do a little socializing with him, and they have. And he's just as big as Kilo now, of our big adult. So yeah, he's there and doing great, and I love what they're doing there and all the expansions and just the professionalism. And Lori's one of my biggest mentors, so I would love to work with her.
Lori's amazing. Probably I've had her on the podcast. She's a super sweetheart. One of my favorites in the hobby. Now, do you see yourself ever getting into the venomous side of the hobby?
Yeah, we actually have. We have a Montane room, and so we've just been doing some of those species, like the rock rattlesnakes, and we have some vipers. I can't say exactly because that's for the Patreons.
See, I'm trying to get that big reptile. I tried to get that big reptile talk first, and she said, "No, that's going on my Patreon."
Oh shit! But yeah, we have some beaded lizards, and we have some Alvarezi. I'm really into those. Obviously, the lizards, but yeah, we have some a pretty good group of rattlesnakes going on right now.
Right. I love that. I have a copperhead right now, which I love. Now I do gotta ask. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff with these reptile bans. With you being a breeder, does that kind of make you nervous?
Yes, always. That's why we're gold members and we support USARG to fight those causes. Luckily, we're in a state that's not super crazy or super aggressive with it, and we've been really fortunate to just hold permits for venomous stuff. We don't even hold permits here for crocodiles until they're over 6 feet. All of our stuff right now is still under that we're still raising babies. But yeah, we're fortunate enough to have whatever we want here. So I definitely wouldn't move to somewhere like Florida and try to keep my animals.
Right, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
it's just chaos over there. But yeah.
It's chaos in North Carolina too. Let me show you something.
Mm-hmm.
Now I actually have an email from a North Carolina politician. Listen to this. Isn't this crazy? Now this is from Dave Knight. He's a politician in North Carolina. He said, now this is where they lost that cobra.
Right.
He said,
Yeah.
I haven't been given a reasonable, rational explanation as to why a private citizen who lives in a city should be allowed to keep wild, dangerous animals. What is the benefit to society that balances out the risk and danger to society? I get there is an industry around these animals, but that doesn't make it right for such animals to be kept for personal pleasure. Isn't that something that he is really aggressive with trying to ban stuff in North Carolina?
Yeah, they're just unknowledgeable people, and they are getting paid to do it the other way.
Right. Well, I hope that the bans go away, because bans or not, I'm not getting rid of my snakes. They just have to come get me.
Yeah, it's just like guns. You can't take our amendment rights from us. It's bullshit.
But now, and the reason I'm talking about bans, because I need to get you on with my plan, and I'm gonna tell you my plan, and I'm gonna see if you're gonna participate. Now, I have a plan to get the eyes off the reptile community. Do you want to help us?
Yes, of course.
Now, I'm gonna tell you the plan, and you tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
So I feel like and you just need 2 fingers, and you just need a flick of the wrist. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean. So on your way to work tomorrow, and I do this all the time. Like, I work in like an hour. On my way to work, I'm driving through the neighborhood, and I look over, I see a gate has a dog in it. I just need 2 fingers, unlatch the gate, let the dog out, get in your car, and drive off. And I would tell you, if there's 1,000 loose dogs, the lawmakers got to focus on the dogs and not us, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a great plan. I just don't know how that's going to go with these dog owners losing and missing their dogs. But, it's a great idea.
Right. Now, talk to me, about with your breeding facility and the rats. Like, just how hard is it just maintaining that facility? Having that many rats. What goes into that?
Oh, shit. Well, there is a lot of rodent racks between Freedom Breeder and ARS, and they're all on a watering system. So that comes through the well, and they're all on the lines. I think our biggest issue is, once you get into some of these older racks and some of the tubs that are like falling off the tracks, you'll get loose rats that get out. And then you also have new employees that are learning how to work with rodents. And if they're dropping rodents, then they're getting loose. The biggest problem we face is what we call a chew out. So these loose rats will chew out the lines in the watering system, and then that will flood a tub and, cause havoc in that tub, flood the flooring. So the biggest thing is like just having good cages, and like we're in the process of replacing a lot of stuff right now. What's up, man? So, but yeah, loose rats are just the devil. It is the worst. But and the heat, the temperatures, like in the middle of August in the summer, it got so hot that we had all fans running, we had AC running, we had, doors open, like everything we could do, and we still lost a good majority of breeder moms, just because of the heat. So, and just keeping the ratios appropriate so these moms can handle raising babies, and training people. Like I said, when you drop rats, that's a human error. That's a problem, because then that rat becomes a menace. I can't sell it either, so it's money lost because it's out of it's a biosecurity hazard at that point, because it's on the ground and it's running around and don't know what it's getting into, blah blah blah. So it can't be fed. It just has to be euthanized and discarded, unfortunately. But that's money.
Right.
So yeah, there's been some times where we had so many loose rodents that we spent the whole day trapping them down, and it was like 100 of them. And I mean, I think the worst lost day in history was like $5,000 over a weekend due to loss and things that were got out, and racks getting flooded, which also floods out their food, so you lose food. Like it's a lot of, I don't know even how to explain it, but there's a lot of overhead. So, you gotta like calculate the labor and what it takes to raise these rodents up to actually being profitable to be able to sell them. So it's intense.
Right.
Every day, just like, how are the floods? What did we lose today? I try to be on a positive note. It's hard. It's really hard, because we're like euthanizing thousands of rodents a week, and freezing them and storing them and shipping them out.
Right. Now,
it takes a lot.
I gotta ask this too, because I'm not gonna lie. We need companies like you, because breeding rats is not easy. And my wife told me that one day, and I was like, because I feed live and I need to get away from that. But she was like, we spend a lot of money on rats, honey. Why don't you think about breeding your own? And I tried it for a week. I said, hell no. I said, my reptile room smells horrible. So, and I say that to lead into this question of how, what's the most efficient way for, getting rid of that smell? And because I just was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so we have a designated barn. It's like 50 by 60, something like that. And if you work in there, you will smell. You just can't get away from it. And then obviously the reptile rooms, we have 6 different reptile rooms on this property, and none of the smell from the rodents gets in here, luckily. A lot of our guys that help out with reptiles who've been working in the rodent barn all day, they won't handle the snakes. They want to be the one cleaning the cage, because you smell like a freaking giant rat. And like sometimes the guys from the barn will come walk through the room, and you can see the snakes start coming up to the front of their cages, and they're just like, no, we're not feeding right now. But they know, they can smell it coming in the room. And when I got bit by that olive, it was the same situation, because, I was bagging rats all day. And once, our policy around here is rodents come first. You do all the rodent work, make sure they're all taken care of for that day, bag anything that we're bagging that day, and then you can go do reptile stuff. And so that's what happened, is I was bagging rats all day with these new employees, and then we were done with that, and we came over to do some reptiles, and this big snake just lashed onto me because I smell like a big rat. But yeah, you won't get the smell out. It's pretty permanent until you just sanitize and wash all your clothes. So yeah, they're nasty.
I
Flooding
kid you not.
rodents up of shit is disgusting. It
I
is
kid you not.
disgusting.
I had 4 or 5 for about a week. I said, "Oh hell no, hell no! I'd buy it, honey. I don't care. I'll spend whatever. I don't care." So we need people like you now. Can you tell because you in the frozen thaw business? Can you give us some pros to feeding the frozen thaw versus alive?
Well, the major one is that you're not going to harm the snake. If you forget that you left a rodent in there with an animal, sometimes they can start eating the snake. So that's a thing. Also, frozen is a lot cheaper, and you can buy it in bulk, and you can save it for longer, and you don't end up wasting a rodent if it doesn't eat because you have a whole bag of it. So, it's just longevity with frozen. It's safer for the animals too. Of course, you're going to have some stubborn animals that might need to start on live. We do that with some of our stuff. But we're pretty good about getting them switched over as soon as possible. What other things? Yeah, I think I covered them all.
Okay, I love that. I love that answer. To me, you the queen of frozen thaw, so I had to get you on here. You know what I'm saying? And
Thanks.
Desiree said, you the queen of Cold Blooded Cafe. Y'all doing y'all thing. I like to keep my podcast between 30 to 45 minutes. That way, down the future we can do it again. Get you on here, see
Of
what you
course.
up to. Um, Amazing podcast. I'm glad we got to talk to you. Now I got one more question.
Okay.
Now I need, and this is for me because I need to rep. I love Cold Blooded Cat. How do I get a T-shirt now? And I asked that because it's been brought to my attention that to get a Cold Blooded Cafe T-shirt, it's like the Hunger Games. You
Yeah.
put 10 people in a room, and the last one alive gets a shirt. I
Uh,
said I'll fight anybody because I need to rep that shit on my pie. My pie. I need a shirt to say Cold Blooded Cafe. How do I do that?
I will send you one. I'll send it to you. Yeah, just
That's
text me your address. But they are available on our website. There's a merchandise page, and you can buy RepTech and Cold Blood Cafe shirts on there. They're only
okay.
$25, but
Well, I
I'll
need
send you
one.
one. I
That's
will.
that's love. I love what you're doing. You the queen of
Of course.
you the queen of frozen thaws. So I need a when my next podcast, I need a Cold Blooded Cafe shirt so I can show it
I
in my
got you.
interviews.
I got you.
That's love. I appreciate you. This was
You're
an
so
amazing
welcome.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's about knowledge and having fun. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
had a blast having you on. I know you're busy, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and go. Thank you so much. I'm getting
Yeah.
ready to post this. You have an amazing day. I'm not gonna, and y'all heard it in the chat. I'm sending my address because I need to rep that brand. I love that brand.
Yeah, I'll send you both for sure.
That's love. All right, you have an amazing day. All right.
Thanks. You too, man.
Thank
Take care. All right. Bye.
man. How awesome was that? We had the queen of frozen thought on the podcast. This is Big Reptile Talk, man. She's doing amazing stuff. Hey, son, how you doing, buddy? I love you. Um, she's doing amazing stuff. She's running two. Look at that. Just people in the comments. Stay awesome, Des. She's doing amazing stuff. Um, y'all hear my son? Anyway, she's doing amazing stuff. She's running 2 companies. That's a queen right there. She's busy and she still took the time out to do the podcast. That's what it's about, man. Just getting a little knowledge, getting a little. My son is so bad. That's what it's about. It's about getting a little knowledge, having fun with it, just seeing what people are doing in the hobby. So shout out to Cold Blooded Cafe. Shout out to Red Tech. Make sure y'all check them out. Go order from them. She is an amazing addition to this hobby, man. And we need people like her. So, anyways, this is Big Reptile Talk. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Before I get out of here, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to My Animal House, Iron Dog, Shane, Moon Over Miami, Wiz Constrictors, Brad Clark, just everybody. Moon Over Miami, KC Mystic Mountain Moors, Alex Agamis, Flexing Pythons, just a bunch of amazing people. Shout out to Kurtwood75, Reese's Pythons, Venom Wonderful, Desert Wolf Armory, Dropped In Reptiles, just Doug's Monstars, just a great group of people. They belong to the reptile community that I'm a part of. Make sure you go check them out. I'm getting ready to post this. This is Big Reptile Talk. Make sure y'all tune in for the next episode. We out of here. I had to come back. One more thing. How awesome is it that I get to flex those logos, man? They're awesome supporters of the channel. So shout out to Venom Proof Cages. Make sure you go check them out. Awesome cages in the business. And much love to Ozzy Boyd's. Great supporter of the channel. Make sure you go check them out. All right, now we can get out of here. But I had to give them shout outs. So peace. This is Big Reptile Talk. We out of here.